house, but somehow it whispered my secret back to me before I ever stepped inside. It started last fall, right before Halloween. I just moved to a small town in Ohio for work, quieter, cheaper, not much going on. That was the appeal. Found a cozy little place to rent near the edge of town, surrounded by trees that looked like they burned gold and red when the leaves turned. A week after I moved in, I heard about the abandoned house the streets over. Everyone in town avoided it. Some kids whispered about the house that talks back. The living room had a collapsed sofa, an old rotary phone off the hook, and picture frames with faces scratched out. I kept walking, the dust clinging to me like static. One neighbor told me, half jokingly, that it knew things it shouldn't. Most just warned me not to go near it after dark. I hadn't even given it to the landlord. Everything was handled through a property app. Being a skeptic and admittedly a bit bored, I did the opposite. The house stood like a bruise on the end of Ridgeview Lane, 2 stories, shutters hanging like broken arms, windows fogged with grime. The front porch sagged. Weeds swallowed what had once been a garden. The hallway stretched long and narrow like it didn't quite fit in the house. On the right was a bathroom. Left, a bedroom. At the end of the hall, a door stood shut. I moved toward it, hand outstretched. But before I could touch it, the front door was unlocked. It creaked open as if it had been waiting. Inside, the air smelled of old wood, mold, and something faintly metallic like blood rusted over. The strangest part, though, was how still it felt around it. No squirrels, no birds. Just this dead silence that thickened the air. I should have left, but something in me needed to know what that voice was. Maybe it was a squatter or a prank. One Saturday afternoon, I decided to explore it. I figured I'd just poke around for a few minutes, snap some pictures, satisfy my curiosity. As I hit the bottom step, the rotary phone in the living room rang. The floorboards moaned under each step. Faded wallpaper peeled like shedding skin. That's when I heard it, from somewhere upstairs. My name, not loud, just a faint whisper. Eli. There was a pause. Then a voice, soft and scratchy, like someone speaking through torn cloth. I froze. I hadn't told anyone in town my name yet. I called out, hello. Nothing. I told myself it was wind, or maybe I'd imagined it. But the air was still. No breeze. No open windows. I climbed the stairs. Each one creaked like it hated me. The second floor was even colder. Knock, knock. From inside. And behind me, just barely visible through the crack of that closed door, something pale crouched low, smiling. Not loud, almost polite. Maybe it was a hallucination brought on by mold or stress. But the next morning, taped to my front door was a photograph. I backed up, my breath caught in my throat. Then the doorknob began to turn, slowly. Without thinking, I rushed back down the stairs. The lights flicker sometimes, and I keep hearing footsteps above me. But I live alone, in an apartment on the top floor. Once, twice, 3 times. I stared at it. I hadn't touched it. It rang again. Don't answer. Some houses don't want you to leave. Some secrets want to be shared, and some never stay buried. I picked it up, hand shaking. You lied to her. My stomach dropped. I saw you, it continued. You didn't even say goodbye. I slammed the phone down. That was when I knew something was wrong. That house didn't just creak and groan, it remembered. It knew things no one should. The door upstairs creaked open. I bolted out of the house. The next few days, I tried to rationalize it. Maybe I'd imagined it, old, faded, from behind. Me standing in that hallway upstairs. I never went back. I moved out 2 weeks later, but that wasn't the end. Last week, months later, I got a package. No return address. Inside was a cassette tape. On it, recorded in that same ragged voice. You brought it with you. I haven't slept since. Don't know how much longer I have, but if you hear your name whispered in a place you've never been,